everyone! Today I'm going to tell you about the synopsis of Extraordinary Attorney Wu Episode 6. Episode 6 of Extraordinary Attorney Wu starts with us in the past as Hyung Sim takes her daughter Hayun to the orphanage. She promised to be back for her little girl, urging the lady in charge that she's not abandoning her. It turned out she's a North Korean defector and is doing this to protect her daughter. She is regretful but puts on a brave face as she walks away. Now, part of this case comes from the fact Hyang Sim has been charged with injury as a result of a robbery. It's a public interest case and as such is left to Woo Young-woo to take charge of alongside Soo-yeon. The pair head off to the detention center together where they meet Hyang Sim. Lee Sun-young is the lady pressing charge. Now, a brief history lesson fills us in on the details for this case. Hyung Sim has mummed the North Korean defector broker Jae Young-hui for 10 million won. It was transferred to Sun-young, who in turn transferred it on to Hyung Sim. She had intention of splitting her money with Jong-hui, another defector from North Korea. Together, the pair broke into Sun-young's house, and to manage she hands over the 10 million won. They manhandled Sun-young, with Jung-hui smashing the place up. In the middle of this commotion, the landlord downstairs ended up calling the police. Hyung Sim ran away, intending to be there for her daughter, while Jung-hui ended up arrested and serving 4 years behind bars. After hearing her passionate plea, the pair decided to try and get her probation. The only way to do that, though, is to reduce down Hyung Sim's sentence to under 3 years. That seems difficult given how old the case is and the circumstance around this. The only solution is to try and prove that the victim wasn't actually physically assaulted by Hyung Sim. It turned out that the doctor who actually assessed Sun Young may be biased against those from North Korea. He recently put out an article showing his clear bias against the factor. When they show up to see Sun Young though, a man happens to be there beating her to the ground. This isn't the first time this has happened though. According to the landlord downstairs, this has been going on for 5 years. However, when Sun Young takes to the stand, she claims she doesn't remember calling the police in the past. Hyung Sim loses control and stands up, claiming it's lies and that Sun Young is pretending to be forgetful. Thankfully, Young Woo managed to get them a recess so Hyung Sim can compose herself in the courtroom. When they finally reconvene, Young Woo is given the task of trying to prove to the courtroom that the doctor is biased against North Korean defectors. With the newspaper piece in hand that he wrote, the doctor is reluctant to speak about it until Young-woo pushes him in a corner. The doctor rattles off his true feelings about North Korean defectors and how they're not taxpayers so shouldn't be treated the same. Young-woo and Soo-yeon brings up the North Korean rules around robberies as a means of trying to explain Hyung Sim's action. Now, as Hyung Sim is more aware of North rather than South Korean law, she technically won't be at fault for her action in regards to robberies given what she knows about her own culture. Hyung Sim is asked about the money from the judge himself, and eventually decided to speak up. He claimed it was her money she was owed. She claims she doesn't know a whole lot about North Korean law either, throwing their entire argument out the window for now. With this, the jury head off to make their decision. Young-woo speaks to the judge and gives an impassioned plea about how she's trying to be a good mother and do what's right. The judge refused for the resumption of this hearing, though it does certainly touch him to see Young-woo's passion like this. The jury gives their verdict and Hyung Sim gets probation. As a first-time offender and heading to court to actually be tried for her crimes, the judge goes lenient on her. Not only that, but she actually confessed too. Funnily enough, the judge actually helped this come about by convincing Hyung Sim to confess. After the court case, Suyeon and Youngwoo head to the department store together. However, the CEO from Tesan last episode is there and she happens to pass Youngwoo unknowingly. So, that's all for today. See you in the next video. Bye!